Okay, so Virgo, in the position of you, you know who you are this month, your vitality, um, your goals, your success levels, your livelihood. You've got the Five of Wands there. So what I'm seeing is some conflict. This card just came out for Leo, if I'm not mistaken. I think I just did Leo. I should know that. Either way, Virgo, off the bat, I'm feeling like you're dealing with some Leos. I feel like some of you Virgos are dealing with Leo. And there is some sort of conflict around some obstacles, some restrictions. I'm sorry. You know, I feel like you could be wanting to fight for your freedom. Maybe you are trying to fight to get a handle on something, but it could be a fight for money, a fight for love, fight about being free to make your own choices, or fight for living out your own soul's purpose. I feel like that's who you are this month, Virgo. Um, Maybe you're feeling like you have to fight for what you want. Let's see what we have in the moon position, which talks about home, private lives, uh, private relationships. And you guys, this really kind of starting to irk me with because the energies is kind of pressing this month. Anyway, in the home position in the personal life, you got the Ten of Coins reversed, so you may be fighting with there's something may going on in your personal life, Virgo. You might be fighting for at home. Um, just not you feel like you don't have what you need. All the resources aren't there. That makes you feel personally sustained, personally satisfied. Um, Maybe you are feeling like you're having some difficulty keeping your head above water in matters of your personal life or matters of your personal, maybe the monies that are going in and out of your home. Um, Virgos, I'm feeling like some of you may be dealing with somebody who's very contained and reclusive. And it's like because this isn't always um, combative in the worst way. Sometimes this is just a lot going on. Sometimes it's camaraderie. Sometimes it's um, heavy competition. But I kind of feel like you need a little more energy. You need a little more fire. And what's going on at home is very much the opposite of that. And I feel like it may be you're feeling conflicted. Feeling like maybe you have to fight too much for nothing. And let's see what we in the Mercury position is going to talk about our communication, community, who we are in the world. I mean, goodness gracious. It talks about our community, our siblings, our work. Scratch that who we are in the world. I don't even know where it came from. Or maybe that's what, the universe wanted me to talk about. Maybe this is going to talk about for you this month who you are in the world, Virgo. But I know we're definitely talking about your communication, your speech, mental capacities. It talks about social media, short distance travels, lower education. We've got the Five of Coins reversed. The communication is around lack of resources. And this is probably lack of resources in the home. And Virgo, you may be tired of fighting to keep coming up short. So we've already got 2 5s in the reading. You know, and 5s are about, like I said, conflict. It's about doing things differently. Now, the thing about the 5 of Coins reversed is, while upright, it could be about poverty. The talk may be around having lack of resources in the home, but maybe somebody has thought of a master plan and you're coming out of that. Because when it's reversed, it talks about coming out of poverty. It talks about breaking away from, you know, that maybe that has consistently and traditionally held you back and held you down. You know, it also talks about, in my opinion, breaking away from the establishment. Whatever you consider the establishment to be, the establishment could be your legal ties to your spouse. The establishment could be, I'm sorry, your legal ties to, you know, your work. I'm sorry again, and the government. But you know, I kind of feel like that somebody maybe has come up with a creative way to turn this around, fighting to get out of debt in the home, and with this 5 of Coins reversed, you know, that talks about coming out. Like I said, so maybe you may have been having some difficulties, Virgo, or maybe you were tired of fighting, but maybe this fighting that you've done is now going to bring you out of this lack of. It's going to get you out of debt. It's going to get you out of struggle. I'm sorry. In the Venus position, we have got the 2 of Coins reversed. Wow, a lot of pentacles here. A lot. Right, we're talking about money and lack thereof. Virgo, maybe you had to let some things go. Maybe you had to make a decision to let some things go. Maybe to downsize, maybe you get rid of cable or you change your phone provider because you're feeling like in order to get out of debt, in order to come out of poverty, there's some things that you are going to need to scale back. Maybe some things that you find that you may be stripping down to the bare minimum in order to get yourself back on track again. Letting go that extra car payment. Letting go that health club membership that you're not using anyway. Which, you know, for Virgo, no, I'm not going to say that because I know some Virgos who are not using their health club membership. No, I wanted to give you guys and say, yeah, Virgo, you're using your membership. Nope, I know some Virgos that are not using their membership. I live with one. Anyway, Virgo, yeah, I do feel like some of you may be trying to get a grip on some things, scaling back because you are thinking of alternative ways to get out of maybe this rut you may feel like you're in order to generate some money. You may be really fighting to generate um, money that you can funnel back into the home. In the Mars position, and this is going to talk about what we're fighting for, what our desires are, where our passion lies. And I don't know if I showed you guys this card, but that's the Two of Coins reversed. So yeah, back to the Mars position, where our passion lies, where we desire, what we fight for. Got the Seven of Coins. Bunch of coins, dude. Bunch of coins, Virgo. But I think what this is saying is that you are, you're willing to put that work in. You're willing to let some stuff go. You're willing to scale back. And you know that, your payout, your turnaround may not be immediate, but if you remain consistent and you continue to put the effort and the work in, that you will benefit. You'll reap the benefits. It'll be like plucking fruit off the tree. You'll have everything you want. You'll be able to sit and chill and relax. There's some work to be done. I think there's some scaling back to be done. You got to pull some of them pennies in. Anywhere you see a penny, pick it up, and all day you'll have good luck. And then pretty soon you'll be picking not pennies from a tree, maybe dimes, quarters, dollars. But you know that there's work that you got to do. You're not expecting things to move right away. You know that that you have to plant the seeds and till the soil and water the crop and watch it grow. But you know that the end result will be that beautiful garden that you can go to and admire and even get nourishment from whenever you need it. You've put the work in, you've put the care in, you've put the love into it. In the Jupiter position, which is going to talk about the things that we acquire. It talks about our spirituality. It talks about good luck and expansion. Our spiritual gurus and teachers. While I'm thinking about it, Jupiter is going to retrograde. Oh my goodness. Jupiter is retrograding in about a week. And Virgo, that bugs me because I remember last year when Jupiter was retrograding, it was retrograding in my 11th house in Virgo. And I'm the kind of person like, people give me things. Like I cannot lie. All my life, people give me things. And when Jupiter was retrograding in my 11th house, people gave me nothing. I mean, this is terrible. And I really didn't realize it until after the transit was over. When I went and thought back, and because it was like when Jupiter went direct again, I was like on again. It's like everybody was cool and was giving me stuff again. But while Jupiter was in retrograde, people gave me nothing. And I couldn't understand it. Virgo, you may not get it. You may not understand it. That may sound selfish. I'm a Leo, by the way. So, what can I say? Anyway. So what I want to say is, let's keep our fingers crossed about what card we're going to draw here and how that affects us, because Jupiter is about to go to retrograde. And I don't want to scare you. I just think that Jupiter, all things that, may have been expanded, may be kind of reeled in a little bit, maybe like your finances. For a period of time, Jupiter may be causing you, because this may be happening in an area of life for you, Virgo, that has to deal with your finances, the money you earn, maybe other people's resources. I don't know what area that is going to fall into in your life, because I would have to do a personal astrological chart for you. But Jupiter going retrograde may be making you go back and like I said, reel it in, scale it back, so that you can, if you have debt, if you have, things that are keeping you uh, kind of just staying above water. I think Jupiter may cause you to go back in some area of your life, and like I said, with it retrograding, it will take away that expansion. Um, And as this happens, maybe you will come up with alternative ideas as to how to put something in place that, while it may be a slow process, in the end, it'll be a fulfilling and dependable uh, outcome, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, when Jupiter retrogrades, and it will retrograde for, I believe, 4 months, this is a time to go back, scale it back, reel it in, and maybe come up with a new master plan. I feel like for a lot of you Virgos, this is going to be happening in a place of your money. So let's turn over the Jupiter card. Okay, we've got the Seven of Wands, and this talks about standing, for what you believe in. It talks about fighting, again, for something. Virgos, you guys are really fighting for something, but you are fighting for the right thing. Whatever it is that you're standing on, and here we go with this Leo. Virgo, yeah. Some of you guys are dealing with some Leos here. And I kind of feel like, Virgo, for those of you who are dealing with Leos, it's like, you know what it is you need to do in order to have these except for this one, in order to have all of these pentacles upright. But I think it's your little Leo that you might have in your space that is ruining your money. Because, Virgo, I gotta be honest, I feel like with the Seven of Wands upright, you are standing for the right thing. And this is about Mars and Leo. And while Mars and Leo can go a little bit hard, this is go big or go home type energy. Leo is a very noble sign, even though it might spend a lot of money. Leo is a very noble sign, and it tries to do the right thing. It really does. And so, I feel, Virgo, like when it comes to what it is you put your energies into in an effort to bring good luck and expansion, you are standing for the right thing. You're putting your energies into the right thing. You are making the right effort. But you know that there's not an immediate turnaround. You know that you got to work hard. But in the end, it will all be very, very beneficial for you. And whatever it is that I think that you're going to be fighting for at this time in order to turn your resources around and come out of this situation, I feel at this moment like this is something that will be very long term. I feel like your results will actually, even though you may have to work hard and put in some work for a time, I feel like that the results that you may end up getting will far outlast the amount of work and effort that you had to put in initially. On the back end, I feel like you're winning, and let's hope so. So let's see what's in the Saturn position. The Saturn could be talking about what blocks us, delays, making us responsible. Okay, in the Saturn position, we've got the Nine of Swords. Don't let the work and the worry restrict you, Virgo. Some of you Virgos are spending sleepless nights. You know, there is some anxiety about your resources and what you're, you know, how much energy you're putting into trying to get these resources. I feel like you could too be dealing with some nervous energy. Yeah, I do see restlessness around you, Virgo. You are worried about your money. Let's see what the outcome is. The Chariot. Dun, 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 dun. The Chariot says that you move. Now, this could be a literal move. Some of you could be moving homes. That may be the outcome. But this movement is a movement forward, Virgo. It's like you get back on track. That's the outcome. You get back on track and you move forward with almost an arrogance. Not, I mean, you're good because you came up with a master plan. You put some work in. Your efforts paid off. You stood in your truth. You fought the good fight. And even though you may have spent some time feeling restricted by, you know, your mind's monsters, because you know when your mind starts going crazy, that'll paralyze you. You know, it's like having a monster under your bed, and you will not get off the bed because as soon as you stick your foot off the bed, the monster's going to get you. That's the kind of thoughts, you know, that the Nine of Swords um, can put in our heads. You know, it can really be a paralyzing, restrictive type energy. You know, like I said, that can be a lot of anxiety, guilt, restless nights. But you get past it, you move forward, and you get back on track. And look, I mean, it's like rah. I mean, you are moving. And since the Chariot represents